Hi everyone, and welcome back to Sacred Season Healing. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Today's reading is a collective root chakra tarot reading. The root chakra is our foundation. It's connected to safety, security, stability, home, finances, physical health, survival, and our sense of belonging. When this chakra is balanced, we feel grounded, confident, supported, and we're able to move through life with trust. But when it's blocked, we may experience things like fear, anxiety, instability, scarcity thinking, difficulty trusting ourselves or others, or even feeling disconnected from our sense of home and purpose. Okay, so as always, this is a general collective reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest, and trust your own intuition above all else, okay? Let's take a deep breath together, ground ourselves into this present moment, and see what guidance Spirit has for us as a collective today, okay? So Spirit, what is the current energy, blockage, or imbalance affecting the collective's root chakra at this time? Please show us clearly. Thank you. Current energy, blockage, or imbalance affecting the collective's root chakra. Please show us clearly. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, the Six of Cups. Anything else, Spirit? Okay, now that we've identified what's showing up on the surface, Six of Cups here, okay, let's go a little deeper and discover where this energy may be coming from, okay? So the next question, Spirit, what is the deeper root, cause, lesson, or pattern contributing to this root chakra blockage? Thank you, Spirit. What is the deeper root cause, lesson, or pattern contributing to this root chakra blockage? Okay, the Queen of Swords. Oh, okay, and the Ten of Pentacles. All right, so awareness is always the first steps toward healing. So let's ask Spirit to show us the path forward, okay? So Spirit, what healing energy, guidance, or first step will begin restoring balance and strengthening the root chakra? What healing energy, guidance, or first step will begin restoring balance and strengthening the root chakra? Please show us clearly. Thank you. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune. Anything else, Spirit? I think I'm going to put that back. And I'm being called to go through it one more time. I'm not sure why. Anything else, Spirit, you want us to see? Okay. What healing energy, guidance, or first step will begin restoring balance and strengthening the root chakra? Anything else? Okay. So the other card that wanted to come out is the Tower. So we had the Wheel of Fortune and the Tower. Oh, there's another one. Sorry. There was one hiding under the Wheel of Fortune, the King of Cups and the Tower. Okay, so now let's take a pause for a minute and look at this first half of the reading and see what the message is here from Spirit. Okay, so as the blockage, we got the Six of Cups, and I love seeing the Six of Cups here because it tells me this root chakra blockage is connected to the past. For some of you, this could involve childhood experiences. It could be family dynamics, an old relationship, a previous job, excuse me, a previous job, or simply memories that you're still carrying. So the root chakra is all about feeling safe, secure, and supported. When the Six of Cups appears here, it suggests that something from your past is still influencing how safe you feel today, okay? It doesn't necessarily mean the past is bad. It just simply means there's something there that still needs your attention or healing, okay? Now let's go a little deeper and see what Spirit says at the root of this pattern. We got the Queen of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles, okay? I feel like these two cards together are saying that many of you invested your heart, your time, your trust, or even your future, right, into something that you genuinely believed would become your Ten of Pentacles. And that could have been a marriage, it could have been a long-term relationship, it could have been a career, a family situation, or another dream of long-term stability. Instead, the experience taught you some difficult but valuable lessons, okay? That's why the Queen of Swords shows up. She's all about wisdom. So she shows the wisdom that comes after disappointment. She's learned to slow down, ask questions, recognize red flags, and trust her own discernment before making major investments, whether emotionally, financially, or spiritually. Okay? So I don't see this as Spirit saying you made a mistake. I see it, I see that Spirit is saying that your past experiences developed your wisdom, and the challenge now is making sure that wisdom doesn't become fear, okay? So your discernment is meant to protect you, not prevent you from creating the Ten of Pentacles you still deserve, okay? I really like the last part of this because it connects beautifully to the root chakra. Many people heal, right, by becoming so cautious that they're unintentionally blocking themselves from feeling safe enough to build something new, okay? But let's look at that last part. We ask Spirit what healing energy guidance or first step will begin restoring balance, and we got the Wheel of Fortune, the King of Cups, okay, and the Tower. So this is really kind of a beautiful, like, healing combination, I would call it. I feel like Spirit is saying it's time to allow your life to move into a new chapter, okay? The Wheel of Fortune reminds us that life naturally moves in cycles. So just because something didn't work out in the past doesn't mean that's the cycle you're destined to stay in, okay? The wheel's already turning and a new cycle is beginning, is what this is showing us. And then with the King of Cups, I'm sorry, I'm getting cold. Excuse me for that. But the King of Cups asks you to become emotionally balanced. So I would say rather than reacting from that fear or that old wound, okay, you're learning to respond with emotional maturity. That's what the King of Cups represents, okay? You also have compassion and self-control, okay? So you're learning how to use all of that moving forward. You're no longer allowing your emotions to control you. You are learning to work with them, okay? All right, and then finally we have the Tower. Now, normally people would get really nervous when they see the Tower, but in this position, with the question that we asked about healing energy and guidance and first steps to restoring balance, what I actually see is that the Tower is helping dismantle the beliefs or even the fears and emotional foundations that were built from those past experiences. So anything that's no longer supporting your growth is being cleared away so you can build something much stronger. Okay? So, healing isn't about rebuilding your old life. It's about allowing Spirit to remove the unstable foundation so you can finally create the stable, secure life your root chakra has been longing for. Okay? So that's a pretty powerful message right there. So before we continue though, let's take a moment to reflect on what came through. These journal prompts that I'm going to give you, they're designed to help you connect more deeply with your own healing and the guidance Spirit is bringing forward today. Okay, so if you need to pause the video, get a pen and paper, something like that, you can do that now. So let's go ahead and with the first question, what past experience or chapter of my life still influences how safe, secure, or supported I feel today? What lessons have I gained from those experiences and how have they shaped my discernment? Where might I be protecting myself out of fear rather than trusting the wisdom I've gained? What old belief, fear, or foundation am I ready to release so I can build a more stable future? And what would feeling truly grounded, safe, and secure look like in my life today? Okay? If these messages are resonating with you, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Your experiences may also encourage someone else on their healing journey. And if you're enjoying these readings, please consider giving this video a like, subscribing to the channel, and sharing it with someone who may need this message today. Your support truly helps Sacred Season Healing. It helps reach more people who are seeking guidance, healing, and clarity. So I do appreciate that. Okay, so now let's see what else Spirit wants us to know. We'll ask Spirit, what truth, healing perspective, or shift in mindset is the root chakra ready to embrace at this time for the collective? What truth, healing perspective, or shift in mindset is in the root chakra and ready to embrace at this time? Please show us clearly, Spirit. Thank you. What truth, healing perspective, or shift in mindset is the root chakra ready to embrace? Okay, the Two of Cups. Okay, and next, as this healing continues to unfold, let's ask Spirit for the most important message to remember moving forward. Okay, so Spirit, what is the most important message that you want the collective to remember as they continue healing and strengthening their root chakra? Most important message, Spirit, that you want the collective to remember. Please show us clearly. Thank you. What's the most important message? Queen of Cups. What else, Spirit? Is there anything else? The Two of Swords. Anything else, Spirit? The Six of Wands. Okay. The Ace of Wands, the Nine of Pentacles. Okay. All right. And finally, let's see what blessing, transformation, or new foundation is likely to emerge as this root chakra comes back into balance, okay? Oh, we had another card hiding underneath the Queen of Cups, and that's the Emperor, okay? So I'll go through all these with you in just a moment. Let's go ahead and ask that last question, and then we'll talk about what we see here. What blessing, opportunity, okay, Seven of Wands came out. Blessing, opportunity, or transformation is likely to unfold, Spirit, as the root chakra becomes balanced and aligned. Okay. We have the Empress with the Seven of Wands, the Devil, and the Four of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles. Is there anything else here? Looks like Spirit really wanted to talk at the end of this reading. I'm getting a lot of cards. Okay. And the Two of Wands. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at this. Okay. So with the first question we asked here on this second half of the reading, we asked Spirit what truth, healing perspective, or shift in mindset is the root chakra ready to embrace? And we got the Two of Cups. So the Two of Cups, because, okay, I love that it came out here because it doesn't just, or I just want to say I don't see this as just a romantic relationship. You know, it can represent a lot of things. I see this as the root chakra learning what healthy connection actually looks and feels like. Okay? So I don't see this as a particular romantic relationship, for example, is what I was trying to say. And for some of you, this may absolutely be about releasing an old relationship. So if that's what resonates with you, don't let, whatever I'm saying confuse you. You stick with what you know. Use your intuition here. You know yourself better, always trust yourself. Yeah, it could absolutely be about releasing an old relationship, so that you're available for one that's built on mutual respect, so if something from the past, a past relationship, for example, did not give you the Ten of Pentacles that you were wishing for or hoping for, or thought you were going to build with that person, then Spirit is encouraging you to kind of shift your perspective, right? And know that, it's just making room for another relationship, and it also taught you some important lessons on what a healthy relationship will look like moving forward, okay? But for others, this could be about healing your relationship with yourself. It could be with your family, it could be your career, or even your relationship with stability and security, because that is what the root chakra is about, right? So the shift in perspective, I think, is recognizing that you're no longer meant to settle for one-sided or unhealthy connections. The root chakra is ready to believe that you deserve relationships and a life that feels safe, reciprocal, and supportive, okay? It's also about understanding that healthy relationships don't create your security. They add to the security you've already created within yourself, okay? So now let's look at what we asked Spirit. What was the most important message? And we got a whole bunch of cards here. Emperor, Queen of Cups, Two of Swords, Six of Wands, Ace of Wands, and Nine of Pentacles. So this is like really empowering. But let's start with the Emperor. The Emperor reminds us that we need to take our power back, okay? We need to become the leader of our own life. Your stability doesn't come from someone else. It comes from the choices that you make every day, okay? So, and then the Queen of Cups, she reminds us that our intuition has grown tremendously through everything that we've experienced. So we need to trust what we're feeling and trust ourselves, okay? Use that intuition. Don't ignore your intuition. And then the Two of Swords, okay, says there may still be a decision that you've been postponing. Maybe it's releasing the past. Maybe it's choosing yourself. Maybe it's setting boundaries. Or maybe it's finally moving into a new direction. You know, you're still kind of hanging on to that past cycle. But as we saw in the first part of the reading, that cycle is now closed and a new one is beginning. Okay? So Spirit is encouraging you not to stay stuck. The Two of Swords kind of represents that, you know, like indecision, and you're just kind of like stagnant. You don't know which way to go. You're indecisive. But I think Spirit's saying, you know, try not to stay stuck between two paths, the old cycle and the new. Okay? And then we had the Six of Wands. Now the Six of Wands, it brings confidence, it brings success, and forward momentum. Okay? So once you make that decision, it seems like Spirit's saying once you do choose and make that decision, here's what you get. You get confidence, you get success, and you get forward momentum. You move forward, okay? And then with the Ace of Wands, this brings fresh inspiration, exciting opportunities, a passionate new beginning, okay? And then the Nine of Pentacles, that reminds us that it just reminds you of how capable you've become, you know? Like, look at you, you're abundant, you're independent, you're strong. You've built wisdom and independence, I've said that, confidence, okay? And inner security, okay? So to me, Spirit is saying, trust yourself, make the decision you've been avoiding, and step into the next chapter with confidence. Everything you've learned has prepared you for what's coming next, okay? So, and finally, we ask Spirit what blessing, opportunity, or transformation is likely to unfold as the root chakra becomes balanced and aligned. And we got the Seven of Wands, the Empress, the Devil, the Four of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles, and the Two of Wands, okay? So this feels less like a prediction and more like a picture of your transformation. With the Seven of Wands, that tells me you'll become much stronger at protecting your peace and maintaining healthy boundaries, okay? And with the Empress shows that you fully are stepping into your worth. You're no longer questioning whether you're enough. You know your value. You're creating a life that's abundant, nurturing, and aligned with who you truly are. The Devil, the Four of Pentacles, and the Five of Pentacles, I think this part shows what you're leaving behind. Okay? You're leaving all that behind. Old fears, unhealthy attachments, scarcity thinking, okay? Fear of loss, fear of being alone, fear of not having enough. Those patterns no longer have the same control over you, okay? So instead of allowing fear to dictate your future, the Two of Wands here, I think, is saying you'll begin looking ahead with hope, with vision, and a purpose for this next cycle. in your life, okay? You'll start making decisions based on possibility instead of survival. And that's exactly what root chakra healing looks like, you know? You move from surviving to creating, and then from fear to confidence, okay? So, and also just from feeling unsupported to realizing you've been building your own solid foundation all along, okay? Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna move into some healing tools that you may want to use during your healing practice, okay? So I'll start with affirmations. I'll go into some body movements, some essential oils, crystals, and also sound frequency that you might be interested in using in your healing practice, okay? Okay, so starting with the affirmations. I am safe. I am supported. I trust myself to build a strong and stable foundation. I release the past and confidently step into my future. Okay, some body movements you might want to do. You might want to spend some time walking in nature. You might enjoy gardening, hiking, practicing grounding yoga, stretching your hips and legs, or simply standing barefoot on the earth if possible. You could do gentle strength training and mindful walking. Those are both wonderful ways to reconnect with your root chakra. Okay, and for sound healing, you can look up just root chakra healing frequencies on YouTube if you want, but some suggestions are 396 hertz that supports releasing fear and guilt. You could try 256 hertz, which is also commonly used for grounding and stability during meditation, okay? Some beautiful crystals to work with this week. Red jasper, and this is for grounding and emotional strength. Black tourmaline, that's for protection and releasing negative energy. Smoky quartz for letting go of fear and old emotional patterns. Or hematite for stability, balance, and grounding. Okay, choose whichever crystal you're most drawn to and carry it with you, meditate with it, or simply keep it nearby as a reminder of your intentions. Okay, some essential oils, you could try diffusing or applying it to your wrist or something like that. Are cedarwood, vetiver, VETIVER, patchouli, PATCHOULI, sandalwood, and frankincense, okay? As you breathe in these calming scents, set the intention to release fear, okay? And reconnect with your inner strength and create a foundation that supports the life you're building, okay? So as we close today's reading, remember that healing your root chakra isn't about erasing your past. It's about recognizing that your past has given you wisdom, resilience, and strength. But it doesn't have to define your future, okay? So every boundary that you've set, every lesson you've learned, and every courageous decision you've made has been helping you build a stronger foundation. Trust yourself, trust your intuition, and trust that the life you're creating now is built on a far more solid ground than anything you've left behind, okay? Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If this reading resonated with you, please leave a comment below. Let me know what spoke to your heart. I always love hearing how these messages connect with your journey. Okay, so, and if you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to Sacred Season Healing, share this reading with someone who may need a little extra guidance and encouragement today. Your support truly helps this community continue to grow and allows these messages to reach those who need them most. Okay, so until next time, take gentle care of yourself, stay grounded, trust your inner wisdom, and remember that every season of healing is leading you closer to the life you were meant to create. Okay, I'll see you in the next reading. Bye.